Hi, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to our panel on Work That Pays. This is our third video in our series about rights on the workplace. My name is Samantha Trueblood. I'm a senior field rep with the National AFL-CIO here in Columbus, Ohio. And in this series, we're going to be talking about what job opportunities exist in Columbus that are available to us, that are jobs of dignity, good benefits, training, safe workplaces, and how we can access them. Soon we're going to watch a video with some of my esteemed panelists up here, and I'll introduce them to you later on. And then we'll have a Q&A session after the video in which we can ask the panelists a few questions that you might have on your mind. Maybe you're interested in the building trades, or you're interested in driving futures, which is commercial driving, or just what the experience of being a woman is on the job site. And so give me one moment. I'm going to pull up a video for us that we can watch. And I'm so happy that you're here to view it. And hold on just one moment, please.
The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the relationship between racial justice and economic justice for all working people. The virus caused layoffs and the elimination of millions of jobs, and low-income and minority communities around the nation have been hit hard. But serious problems existed before the pandemic. COVID-19 related unemployment will come down, but you can't just look at the unemployment rate to gauge the health of our economy and our communities. That's because even before the virus, too many people have been working full-time, in fact, working multiple jobs, and still find themselves struggling to make ends meet. This Central Ohio Workers Center video focuses on pathways to good jobs that pay fair wages and provide working people with the dignity and respect they deserve.
COVID-19 has taught us something about our society and its workers. From Amazon warehouse workers to the stock clerk at the grocery store, from the Walmart cashier to the Uber driver, all workers want to be treated with dignity and respect, especially when they continue to go to work during the pandemic. People who have been written off as low-wage or unskilled workers in the past are demanding that their voices be heard. These workers know how important they are to their communities, to the nation's economy, and to the maintenance of the American way of life. They were told they were essential and they want to be treated like it. In Columbus, before and during the pandemic, government, labor, and the private sector have entered into partnerships to provide workers who have faced obstacles in the job market with real economic opportunities in jobs that pay good money with good benefits.
My name is Dorsey Hager. I'm the Executive Secretary-Treasurer of the Columbus and Central Ohio Building and Construction Trades Council, an organization representing more than 18,000 construction workers from 18 affiliated local unions and district councils. Despite the pandemic, there are still good jobs in this city. The key is finding and safely accessing them. Some of the best paying jobs in Central Ohio don't require you to take on tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt or earn an advanced degree. Instead, you can earn as you learn by working in the building and construction trades. You learn on the job and through classroom training that teaches practical skills you can use when you practice your construction trade. Tradespeople work as insulators, plumbers and pipe fitters, painters, electricians, bricklayers, iron workers, and sheet metal workers, among others. Careers in the skilled trades offer great pay and benefits, such as a pension and health, dental, and vision insurance. Beyond the compensation, there is a pride that comes from building something and knowing that your efforts contributed to create something great. I'm very proud to be involved with the Building Futures program. It's a partnership between the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, Franklin County Department of Job and Family Services, the Columbus Urban League, and the Columbus Building and Construction Trades Council. I cannot say enough about this program and what it has done to offer communities and low-income workers. Rather than just talking about change, the program is changing lives for better by putting real money in people's paychecks.
I'm Leland Bass. I'm the program manager for the Building Futures program. Participants in the pre-apprenticeship program receive world-class training that leads to great career opportunities in 20 skilled construction trades. Safety certification and trade-specific instruction are taught to give students more in-depth knowledge about the trade career they want to pursue. No prior construction experience is necessary. After successfully completing the 12-week pre-apprenticeship program, a graduate can quickly secure employment with life-changing starting wages ranging from $15 to $26 per hour, plus full benefits, including health, dental, and vision insurance. The program focuses on low-income workers and people who are unemployed or who were incarcerated. In addition to teaching construction skills, the program provides professional development training and other support, like coaching, counseling, and financial education that can be used on the job and in someone's personal life. We want people to succeed, so participants can tap into financial resources to help with transportation, early child care, and housing through our government partners. Building Futures pre-apprentices even receive a weekly stipend for their time. In Columbus, there are good construction jobs to be had, and the Building Futures program is a pathway for those jobs. If you're interested in the program, you can call me at 614-323-5496 or send an email to lbass@cul.org to set up a time to talk. This program is making a difference.
Hi, my name is Ebony Davis. I work as a second-year apprentice in the construction industry. I became a drywall finisher after I enrolled in the Building Futures program. Building Futures opened a lot of doors for me. The program taught me what it takes to succeed in my trade and made sure I had the support I need to get through the program. It's been an awesome experience. Today, I earn good pay and benefits as a member in the trades. I'm respected on the job and in my community. Building Futures can do the same for you.
There is a solution to the problem of low-income work in our communities. It's good pay and benefits for every job. The Building Futures program provides access to the kinds of jobs that can transform lives and communities. Columbus has a history of partnerships that can provide real solutions to work and racial justice issues in the COVID-19 era and beyond.
In Columbus, the city has used community benefit agreements to promote the use of local labor on public construction projects. The Linden Community Center and Park is a great example. These agreements really are partnerships designed to provide good jobs for local community residents and access to careers in the building and construction trades and equitable neighborhood development. They're another way to provide real economic opportunities for minority, women, and low-income workers in our local neighborhoods for years to come.
When working people come together and organize in their communities, they can often help develop solutions to problems that have existed for decades, such as the lack of good-paying jobs and the need for more investment in distressed areas. Community organizing and building coalitions with other organizations can help us achieve our goals of providing good-paying jobs and sustainable neighborhood development.
Based on the success of the Building Futures program, we developed a similar program called Driving Futures. This program provides training and assistance to low-income workers and workers who were incarcerated so they can obtain a Class A commercial driver's license. There is a CDL driver shortage, and COVID-19 has only made that problem worse. A truck driver with a CDL is in demand in Columbus, just like construction workers in our city. Drivers can make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 or more a year, plus good benefits. The Driving Futures program is an 8-week program. It is open to eligible participants age 18 and up. Applicants can't have more than 6 points on their driver's license or a DUI in the past 3 years, and they must be able to pass a drug and background check. Like the Building Futures program, a range of services are available to help the trainee succeed in the program. Driving Futures also provides job placement assistance with local employers. This is a great program that can help workers and their neighborhoods. If you're interested in the program, you can call me at 614-323-5496 or send an email to lbass@cul.org.
Hi, my name is Chris Negley. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Central Ohio Workers Center and a business representative for the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, District Council 6, Local 1275. COVID has taken too many lives and too many jobs away from us. Communities are hurting. People want to be safe. They want to earn good money so they can provide for themselves and their families. The construction industry remains strong in Columbus, and that includes painting and other finishing trades. One of the purposes of this video is to provide residents with the information about good paying job opportunities during the pandemic and beyond. There are good paying finishing trade jobs going unfulfilled in the Columbus market right now. No prior experience is necessary. Finishing trade jobs start at more than $15 an hour with no experience and more with experience, plus good health care and pension benefits. If you're interested in working in the trade, contact me at 614-620-6986. I got involved with the Central Ohio Workers Center because I want to see all working people treated fairly and with respect. When we help someone find a good job, that person can help someone else find a good job, and so on. And that helps the community. That's how we all become stronger.
Everyone deserves the opportunity to be successful in life, and success is tied to working in a field that brings a sense of pride and the ability to provide and take care of your responsibilities. When good jobs are hard to find, communities decline. Poverty and insecurity place incredible stress on people in their neighborhoods. Parents have to work multiple jobs while at the same time caring for dependent children and elders. The entire family feels the pressure, and COVID-19 has only made the problem worse. But we have the power to bring about positive change. Government, unions, businesses, and residents all have an important role to play. That's why the programs and partnerships discussed in this video are essential now and after the pandemic. They make a real difference, and so can you.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, low-income workers across the United States have demanded higher wages, hazard pay, and safer working conditions, including at Instacart, Uber, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, and Whole Foods, to name a few. From food processing plants to nursing home employees, now some of the most dangerous jobs in America are demanding COVID-19 protections and better health insurance benefits and fair pay. The people who for so long were told that their labor wasn't valuable, that they were replaceable, and to keep their heads down are standing up together because they've learned that their work is valuable and that they not only have rights, they have power at work. And in the process, they've changed the discussion in the United States. And that's what we are trying to do here in Columbus, change the discussion and organize with low-income workers to help change their status from low-income workers to that of well-paid workers who are treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve. The Central Ohio Workers Center has made additional materials and resources available on its website at centralohioworkerscenter.org. We also want to know if you found this video to be helpful and informative. Most importantly, we want to work with you on the workplace and community issues that matter to you. Please join COWC today or register for updates so we can stay in touch. We hold monthly meetings, virtual for now, that are free and open to the public. Contact us for more information on how to join. We hope you watch the rest of the videos and join our upcoming Facebook Live.
great. I thought that video was wonderful, very informative, and we are very lucky to have some of the participants from the video joining us today here on our panel. I want to give a shout out to the folks who are participating with us. Just one moment, sorry. We have Dorothy Hager, who is the Executive Secretary Treasurer of the Central Ohio, Building and Construction Trades Council. We have Leland Bass, who is the Program Manager for the Building Futures Program. And then we have Ebony Davis, who is a drywall finisher. She is a successful graduate of the Building Futures Program, and she's also a member of the IUPAT Local 1275. And so I just wanted to say thank you again to the participants, and I'm going to open it up with some questions for y'all, just so you can tell us about the process of getting into these trades. And so I myself work in labor. I've been around for a while, but I've been in the private sector, and I haven't worked with building and construction trades until I started my recent job. So for outside folks, Dorsey, this is directed at you, it can be a little bit unclear about how y'all are set up and what the difference is between a trade and just starting on a work site doing the job. And so can you talk about what the union difference is in the building and construction industry, and then how it is getting started when there's no pre-apprentice program, excuse me. I know that you are from the trades yourself, and maybe you can talk about what it was like as you came up through the ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll hit on a few key differences between building trades programs and maybe other careers that people may have heard or read about. But the Columbus and Central Ohio Building Trades, we have 18 affiliates. There's 18 unions. There's 14 different trades. So if somebody's interested in being a laborer, somebody's interested in being a plumber, a pipe fitter, insulator, electrician, sheet metal worker, or a painter or finisher like Ebony, they can go onto our website at columbusconstruction.org. They can check out what each trade is, where their territories are, where their work jurisdiction is, also where where to go to apply. A lot of these you can apply online, especially, which is good now because of everything that's going on with COVID. You can also read up on some of the prerequisites for each program for taking applications. Some of the best things about our programs is, and I get this question a lot when we go out and we do outreach events, is young people or even adults or even maybe older adults who are looking for a better career or a better paying job, or maybe have lost their job for whatever reason. They ask about, do you have to go to school and then do you go to work? Do you go to work and then you go to school? All of our apprentices, it's the old motto, you earn while you learn. You go to school either at night or on the weekends. You start to work for a contractor, so you're starting that good, middle class wage right off the bat. That includes health, welfare, pension, dental, vision, pension, and annuity. So that way you can have a nice career. You'll be able to provide for yourself and your family and retire with dignity and respect, like every person should be able to. Another huge benefit about our apprenticeship programs and also our labor unions that oversee those is that everything is underneath a collective bargaining agreement. So I'll use Ebony as an example. She's on here. If she were to get laid off by her contractor tomorrow because maybe they didn't have work for her, she just doesn't go home and sit by the phone and wait for that contractor to call her. She contacts her training director or her business rep, or maybe the person that runs the local hiring hall. It depends on the union that you're in. And that person finds you a job and sends you right back out. And then another great thing about our apprenticeship programs and our collective bargaining agreements, a lot of people in the workforce who are not working under a contract or not working under a CBA, when they go and they work for somebody, and we hear this from a lot of open shop or non-union workers that we organize, if they quit a company and go to work for another company, they'll go to that boss, they'll go to that owner, they'll go to that superintendent, and they'll say, hey, I was used to making this over here and I want to make that. That person will say, well, go out and work for a couple of weeks and shine for me, and then we'll talk about it. So that's not the case with us. Our apprentices, no matter what contractor they work for, no matter what job they work on, they're going to make the same wages, benefits, and everything on every job. And then at the end of each year of their apprenticeship training, whether it's a 3, 4, or 5-year program, another great thing that's different than kind of the open shop sector is there's no going to your boss or your foreman and saying, hey, I've been here a year. How about a 50-cent raise? How about $1? The collective bargaining agreement already lines it out. If you've got your work hours in, you've got your school hours in, you've met your obligations, you automatically go to the next year and you automatically get your increase until you graduate from your apprenticeship program. Then you become a mechanic member. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm sure that we're going to touch on it more, but anybody who's interested in any of the trades, like I said, can go to columbusconstruction.org. As the economy gets better, you heard Chris Nagley on the video, one of the reps from IUPAT, talk about it. There's all kinds of trades that we're in need of people now, not only because the economy is getting better and continuing to grow, and Columbus and Central Ohio is growing, so the opportunities are there, but also because of the demand, because the baby boomers are starting to retire and a lot of those positions are becoming open. So we're getting squeezed from both ends. We need anybody that's interested to make sure that they go onto our website, educate themselves, and if it's something that they would like to do, to obviously reach out to us and we can help with them.
That's excellent, Dorsey. Thank you. You are a heat frost insulator, correct?
Yes.
And so when you were coming up, you just went directly into your apprenticeship program. Did you go through a pre-apprenticeship program, or you just did apprenticeship?
No, I applied for a couple different trades. I was accepted into the heat and frost insulator. So I walked in, and day one, went out on a job site and started working. And then a couple nights a week, went to school just like a regular school year, September till May. And then at the end, we got summers off, got my raise at the end of each year, and just turned over and became a mechanic member. And then was fortunate enough to work in all kinds of different settings, industrial and commercial. I've worked on a few nuclear plants, worked on some gas powered plants, some coal burning power plants. I've worked at hospitals here in Central Ohio. My last job in the field before I became business manager was I worked on a maintenance crew at Anheuser-Busch. So a wide range of experience doing a lot of different things in commercial and industrial applications.
That's wonderful. You've had so many experiences traveling to different types of job sites and getting a different flair for the job. And I like to keep things interesting at work and do a bunch of different things. And so I like that. So
That's one of
Leland,
the keys. That's one of the keys to the trades. The scenery always changes and it's always good. So
wonderful. Leland, I'll pass it to you. How does the Building Futures program help prepare folks to enter into the apprenticeship with the trades? How are you recruiting folks? How do you find them? How do you get them ready? And then how do you fill in the gaps to make sure folks are ready for success?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the question or the questions. I will say Building Futures really prepares individuals for getting into the trades by first and foremost giving them an introduction into mechanics. When we designed the program, it was designed to take someone off the street with no previous experience, give them some fundamental knowledge, so that when they go to apply to the trades, that they, one, are not coming in ice cold with no experience, but two, that they've got an opportunity to kind of experience what a day in the life of a tradesman might look like. So the program was put together to provide opportunity, but also to give those individuals a chance to kind of see what they're getting into before they jump into it. Building Futures is 12 weeks. We recruit from all over Franklin County. As Dorsey mentioned earlier, before COVID, we would have recruiting events on every side of town, usually at a local recreation center or a place that was easy for everyone to get to. We really are focusing on individuals in Franklin County who traditionally have been underrepresented within the trades. When I met Dorsey, one of his main goals was to get the opportunities that were available out to the people that needed them the most. And so we wanted to really get to the individuals in Franklin County that had been underrepresented and didn't know about these opportunities. And we wanted to educate them about the opportunities and then provide a program that would give them a way to access them. So we get into the neighborhoods. Right now we do a lot of virtual events to try to recruit. And our greatest recruiting tool now is our graduates. Word of mouth is one of our best tools because our graduates are usually really successful, and Ebony will speak to it a little bit later, but they are really great about sharing their experience and bringing their friends and family to say, hey, I want to get them the same opportunity that I had. So we we don't have to recruit as hard as we used to, because we got a gang of graduates out there that are working hard, making good money, progressing in their life, and they want to share those opportunities with their inner circle. So that's a great feeling to have one of our graduates call and say, hey, I got someone else I want you to meet. I want to try to get them into the program because it's done so much for me. That's kind of what we do. Building Futures is, like I always tell people when they come in, whenever you graduate, you're not going to be an insulator. You're not going to know everything, but you will have access to get into a registered apprenticeship, and you will have the tools that you need to be successful if you're willing to put the effort in.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Leland. Ebony, I'm going to pass it over to you because you are the proof that this program works. Can you tell us about how you found the program and what your experience was like going through it, and then actually what it's like to get your hands dirty and be a woman of color on the job site? Can you get into that with us about how you found the program and what you're up to these days?
Absolutely. I just want to say hello to everyone. I'm always happy to be a part of the panels and part of the apprenticeship fairs. I think timing is everything. I heard about Building Futures program while riding out of town. I heard Leland on the radio. I wasn't even sure what trades were, but I heard about an opportunity to learn and make money while doing it. And, to become, a construction worker and have an actual career. And I just followed directions from the interview he had on the radio, contacted the Columbus Urban League, showed up, got scheduled for an appointment. I had to have an interview with Julie, and I had an interview with Leland. Once I was accepted into the program, there was a math test that we had to take and drug screen. And once that was all settled, got a call saying I was, accepted when to start, and that it was going to be 12 weeks, explain the program, what the hours would be like even after the program. They let you know and give you a chance to see if you'll even be able to work those hours. They told me it'd be 7 to 3. That's perfect for me having children, because I can have childcare and get off in time before childcare is over, able to come home and still have those hours in the evening to be able to take care of my family. The Building Futures program definitely, again, changed my life. Like you were saying earlier, Samantha, that a lot of people have to work 2 and 3 jobs now. And when you get into the construction building trades, you only have to work 1 job. Like they say, your pay goes up every year. I'm a first year apprentice. I've already experienced receiving my first year's pay. I'm also excited to be a part of a union. Never had that experience before. Just to go back a little bit to the Building Futures program, I said not only gives you the opportunity to give you an entry into the construction trades, it kind of walks you right through the front door. The preparation he talked about, they gave us a shop class where we went over learning how to use basic tools, hammers, screwdrivers, saws, things like that, measuring tape. And we also got a remedial math course, or I would say refresher math course. From, of course, being out of school for so long. We also got our OSHA 10, and that we have to have that once we get into our jobs with our actual contractor companies, and the program gives you a head start on that. So that was also awesome to be able to take advantage of that while in the program. So it's not just, you come to class. We learned and we got to experience a lot through the program, not just introduction into construction. We got to talk to every trade. Every trade came into the building trades and talk to us and explain to us what they do, what their apprenticeship program was like. Like Dorsey said, you get to go to school while you learn, earn while you learn. For the finishers, we go to school 4 weeks out of the year. It is during the time that we work from 7 to 3:30, so it doesn't really interfere with our schedule.
So that's awesome. You don't have to go to work, all week and then get out and have class at night for a whole week. So with the painters and allied trades, we actually go to school during the day 4 weeks out of the year, and it's split up. And it's not overwhelming or anything. So then that's also, awesome.
That's excellent.
I don't know
Thank
if
you,
I missed
Ebony.
anything.
No, that's great. I think classwork is so very important. Coming from someone who's gotten their hair cut in a drill, you need to know how to use proper safety techniques on any job, whether it be at home or the job site. So I think it's super important. Something that came up in the video that I want to go further on is I was really surprised that the pandemic didn't seem to have a huge, terrible impact on these jobs. So Dorothy or Leland, can you speak to why the construction trade industry has continued so strong, even with COVID, running through the state, running through the whole country, the world? Why is that?
One of the big reasons why I think so is because of our training. I mean, our training and education and our safety protocols with not only our members, our apprentices, our mechanic members, our on-site, our foreman, our general foreman, our on-site supervision, but also our owners and our contractors is second to none. Leland talked about building futures. Every person that graduates from building futures at a minimum will have OSHA 10 safety training. So they'll fully understand before they walk onto a job site how to find job hazards, how to find issues that could become problematic, and how to deal with them by wearing the correct PPE and taking care of that situation. So all of our members, a lot of our reps, a lot of our organizers have been great at dealing with issues. Have we had some COVID problems on some jobs, and have some jobs been shut down from here to there? Yeah, but I think that our members, our contractors have worked great out in the community, making sure that these jobs, are safe and that they have safety protocols in place. So that way these jobs can continue on, and we can continue to do them. I know we're probably going to talk about it here in a little bit, but a big job that we did for the city of Columbus that had a community benefit agreement on it, Linden Recreation Center. James Miller from the Columbus Recreation and Parks, who oversaw that job, said that was one of the best performing jobs that the city of Columbus has had in the last 18 months. We pride ourselves on jobs being done on time, under budget, but also done safely. And that job was just tremendous. And I know the city of Columbus was really happy with the productivity and everything that was done and the safety protocols that were taken on that job. So.
Thank you, Dorsey. I just want to say Linden Rec Center, that is in my backyard. And I just saw it for, a couple of weeks ago. It is beautiful. I love seeing so many people working. And I remember when y'all were actually hiring in the local community for that project. And I am so happy to be a Columbus resident and to have a new rec center that's union built, made by folks from the community. And it just looks wonderful, and I'm proud. But I'll stop yakking and give it back to Leland. Thanks.
Well, I just wanted to add on to what Dorsey was saying, in that, and speaking to our previous graduates, they were all first, they were grateful that none of them had to take time off from work, because construction workers are considered essential workers. They were able to continue earning a living for their families, and to be able to, make it through the pandemic, without facing some of the hardships that other people faced. And two, most of the people that I talked to were really happy with all of the safety measures that their contractors took. I would get calls and say, they're not messing around on that site. If you don't have your PPE on, there's somebody that's going to get on you about it. They were really trying to make sure that they took care of their workers. So I think that is another benefit when you are working, on a union job, because, they want to take care of their workers. There's a significant incentive to take care of your workers. And I heard that a lot. One of the other things I've been trying to keep an eye on the chat a little bit, and I wanted to speak to a couple of things. One of the things that Building Futures is a great entryway into the trades, but I've been really impressed with how all of the other trades, when we do outreach events, they're not just building future specific. We'll be there representing our program, but all of the other trades usually have a representative that's there to pass out their information about opportunities that are available for people that may have a higher skill level that don't maybe need to go through building futures. And there's a direct way to get into those programs too. So all the trades, if they have opportunities, they try to do their best to make it known for those individuals that maybe have a skill level that's above building futures and they can get in directly and be successful. So there is opportunities, and I know the trades try to do a good job about presenting those opportunities to the community as well.
I want to thank you for answering Mr. Motil's question, Leland. I will read it for folks who can't see the chat. Of course, Building Futures is a great program, but are the trades unions themselves still opening their doors to new apprentices without going through Building Futures? What are the trade unions doing to reach out to the Black community? And that was what Leland answered for us. I'll ask one final question of my own, before I get into like the last question that's in the chat box. Dorothy, it seemed like you had a lot of thoughts about the community benefits, and that's something that you wanted to bring up. Is there anything that you wanted to add about community benefits and the future of those in Columbus?
I just think that people not only in the city of Columbus, but also in Franklin County, I think they need to be aware of how hard the county commissioners are working, and also how hard a lot of the members of Columbus City Council and Mayor Ginther are working to make sure that local residents and skilled residents are working on these projects, and that the building trades has been a partner and not only, to continue to lead the diversification of our programs, but, it's like I tell everybody that I meet in the community, Leland can go down the list and we can work with Leland, and we can take 500 people into Building Futures tomorrow and train them on the building trades. But unless we have a place to place them, unless they have a job to go to, then we're really not accomplishing anything. Leland has the exact stats, but I think at the last time we reviewed them, our graduation rates are about 88% and our placement rate is right around 85%. So you think about that, you're going through this training, and then when you complete it, you're walking right onto a job site working on a trade. The memorandum of understanding, which is a form of project labor agreement that the county uses, and the community benefit agreement, which, kudos to Mayor Ginther, he's the first one in the history of the city of Columbus to use a community benefit agreement, make sure that local residents, specifically, people of color and females, are getting that opportunity to get to these apprenticeship programs and work on these jobs. And I think it's been a tremendous asset. It's been a great partnership for the Columbus building trades, but also with the taxpayers of Columbus and Central Ohio. We talked about Linden Rec Center. Leland and myself hosted a group of young men here in the city of Columbus, getting ready to go into their senior year of high school, and they took a tour of the Linden Rec Center. The mayor's labor liaison, Barry Pickett, who's a sheet metal worker by trade, and Aaron Beck, who chairs our apprenticeship and outreach committee at the city of Columbus. They were there as well and partnered with us on this event. And we had lunch for the young men outside, and a couple of kids from the Linden neighborhood that came through Building Futures and went to work for a local contractor here in Columbus, for a local union here, the laborers, Local 423, came out and talked to those kids about the opportunities they had, what they were learning on the job, what they were learning in the school about the trade, the type of money that they were making at that time, the type of money that they had the potential to make, and the career that laid in front of them, as well as the benefits. And to see those young men, to be able to identify with other young men that grew up, went to Columbus City schools, lived right there in that Linden neighborhood, and we're now working on that project, like you said, Sam, right in your backyard. The effect that it had on those young men were tremendous. And that's what we've got to do more of. And like Leland said at the beginning, we're marketing the heck out of Building Futures. We're marketing the heck out of our building trades programs because we need people. But word of mouth has been a tremendous asset for Building Futures. People like Ebony Davis, people like Tristan Crow, people, throughout the community who've been going out and talking about this program and bringing people to us that we can get in. So.
Wonderful. My final question, sorry, is what's the special sauce? I know the Urban League is involved, building and construction trades, and you mentioned the Franklin County Commissioners, but is this something that you can replicate in other cities around Ohio? There's plenty of underserved, underrepresented people who need help. Do they need all three of these things for these groups to be correct? This perfect storm, this dream team to make this happen and get this rolling? Or any thoughts, Leland, Dorsey, or Ebony?
So I'll start first so I can get my my humorous anecdote in, and then Leland can talk about the talk about. But 4 years ago, when Leland and I and a few others met and talked about this program, Julie Maciejewski from the Electrical Trades Center, Andy Maciejewski, who's very familiar with pre-apprenticeship programs because he worked for two different governors at state of Ohio and ODJFS. But we were talking about this program. One of the people at the table looked at me and they said, Dorsey, this thing is going to be great. And you're going to speak all over the country about this program. And I looked at them and I shook my head and I said, absolutely no way. And the first opportunity I had, I got to go to San Diego, California. That was pretty cool. You know, San Diego, anybody that's ever been. The second opportunity I had was Western Alberta, Canada, which not as fun as San Diego, but still got to talk about the program. And, you know, the county commissioners are partners on this program. And I see Commissioner O'Grady. I see Joy Bivens from ODJFS. I know Joy has testified at Congress about this pre-apprenticeship program and the impact that it's having. And, you know, I consider Commissioner O'Grady a great friend, and he'll call me and he'll be like, hey, Dorsey, we're getting an award for Building Futures. You know, I'm going to go here to Orlando and accept this award. And I'm always volunteering. I'll say, you know, John, if you need somebody to go, let me know. And he'll be like, no, I got this. You're good. But I'll make sure and get a picture and send it to you. So, but no, this program, we've had people from Lima, Cincinnati, like I said, Edmonton. They're making sure that they're reaching out to Indigenous people in Edmonton, Alberta, and they're patterning off of our county MOU and our city's CBA, community benefit agreement, to duplicate what we're doing there. Dayton has just established a Building Futures program. I know Cincinnati, like I said, is looking at it as well. So these things are popping up everywhere, and Leland knows this. Whenever somebody reaches out to us, we try to help them as much as we can to help them get established. And the National Building Trades, who the Columbus Building Trades falls under, you know, we were fortunate enough with Leland's help and Kitty French from ACT Ohio to receive some grant money that was funneled through the National Building Trades on our program. And, you know, and they said out of all the pre-apprenticeship programs in the United States, they considered ours to be the second best program that they've seen. They wouldn't tell us who first was because they knew Leland would probably go put one out on them. But yeah, they said ours was the second best. So we're really happy, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. So.
Any thoughts, Leland?
Well, I'll just, Dorsey covered most everything, but it's like he said, we're really proud of what we're doing. The program was designed to, with the proper support, be able to be replicated, and we're seeing that across Ohio. And I remember when the program first started, it won a national award like 4 months, like after our very first class, it won like a national award, and we got calls from California, and people were trying to figure out how we were able to do it. But what I always try to make sure that people understand is it takes a great deal of partnering and communication and willingness on several different parties to come together to want to do this. So as Dorsey said, our county commissioners and Jobs and Family Services came together to give us a funding source that has enough flexibility in it that we can really do the things that we need to do for our participants. The building trades got all of the trades to sign on to make sure that when our graduates finish, that they're not just trained, but that they're trained and going directly into employment. All of those things work together. And that's why you see the success that we have. It's because everybody that sat at that table, as Dorsey spoke about, had one thing on their mind, and that was what was best for the citizens of Franklin County. And when we started the program, I know I went up to Jobs and Family Services to kind of write the social service component part of it. And all they said was, write whatever you think you need to make people successful. They didn't give me any handcuffs. And so we were able to create a program that is really designed for success. And I think that's the really important part, is to have buy-in from all the stakeholders and a willingness to put something together that is really going to be, transformational for the people that come through it.
Just to
Great.
piggyback on that, Leland's absolutely right. From our very first conversations with Commissioners John O'Grady and Marilyn Brown and Kevin Boyce, they had said, put in this program what you need, because the last thing that we want is to somebody miss a career opportunity because of a barrier. So anything that you need that will aid in barrier removal, that's what we want to do to help people get into a career and get on that direct path to the middle class where they're providing for themselves and their family.
Great, thank you. I have one question in the chat that I can see. If there's more, I will receive a text about it. This question, just one moment, I'm bringing up, okay. Charles Abernathy says, I have people who might be interested, but they are afraid because of homophobia or transphobia. Do the people you work with protect people from discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity?
I think the best person to answer that may be Ebony. I know, Ebony, you've got the most recent experience out on the job site. I mean, I don't know if you can speak to your experience about what that job site looks like, if you feel like it's supportive or what improvements are need to be made. But I know we've discussed your experience so far, and I know it's been positive. But from what you've seen, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that, I don't see why it would be a problem. I said, being a female on any site, I have not had any problems. People pretty much kind of mind their business and, work on their trade and what they need to work on. I've not seen any discrimination so far. Rather, it's, the LBG community, being a female, I said, by color, by, ethnicity. So I would say that they should definitely come in to see. The only way they'll be able to see is actually for themselves. And I know that if they ever do have a problem, there are several people that you can talk to. There are people at the EEOC that comes out to the job sites to also make sure that, we're being treated fairly and equally as well. You can always go to the general contractor. I said, go to your job, go to your HR. There are places, that you'll be able to go back to your union hall, talk to your union rep. If they ever did have a problem, they could switch trades, they can switch companies, you know what I mean? But as far as, from my opinion, I don't think that will be a problem for them at all.
The other thing, just to piggyback on what Ebony said, all of our apprenticeship programs have training, like Ebony's a finisher. In her program, they're not just teaching her how to finish walls and paint walls. They're teaching her how to read blueprints. They're teaching her, life building skills, team skills, to work with others. So that way, when she does complete her apprenticeship, if she wishes to, she can walk right into supervision. And a lot of that deals with management, being able to manage people and to be able to take care of things, that can happen on a job site. But like she talked about also, you can go to your union reps, you can go to your training director, you can go to your apprenticeship teachers, you can go to your foreman. A lot of our supervisors and a lot of our mechanic members on the job really take to the apprentices and try to help them to make sure that they're successful. Because, one of the things we talked about at the beginning of this, all of our members and all of our workers work under a collective bargaining agreement. When I retire, I want to retire with dignity and respect, but I'm going to need younger people like Ebony to continue to work to pay into those pension funds and to pay into those annuity funds and pay into those medical funds, so I can benefit from those as I get older. And then the same thing will happen to her. As she gets older, she'll be able to have access to those funds when she retires, but it takes people behind her, to pay into those as well. One last thing on that also, all of our local unions have codes of excellence. I know that the IBW calls theirs the Code of Excellence. The Insulators Union, which I belong to and worked in the field, we have the Professional Craftsman Code of Conduct. So we make sure that not only are our members and our workers on job sites doing what they're supposed to do, whether it's insulating a pipe or finishing a wall or wiring a wire box, but also that they're respectable, they're professional, they treat not only their co-workers or people under them with dignity and respect, but also teach the customers with dignity and respect. We work in a lot of Fortune 500 companies every day. We work at AEP, we work at Honda, we work at Battelle, we work at the Ohio State University. We have several of our members building and constructing the new Crew Stadium, as well as the Hilton Hotel down on High Street, which Leland pointed out to me today. You can see our Building Futures banner there hanging on the job site. So obviously our members, our workers, they're going to do the best that they can to show themselves well when they're out there, not only on the job sites, but also in public as well.
And I wanted to speak to it just from a different perspective of Building Futures. I'm not on the job site with our graduates every day, but we've put over 100 people through the program so far. And one thing that I've noticed, and our individuals have all different types of backgrounds, all different types of lifestyle choices or whatever. But it seems to me that all of our classes, when they graduate, there's almost like a family. They may bicker and fight a little bit, but I was in the beginning, I was surprised at how well they looked out for one another without being prompted. You'll see these guys in class and they'll say, oh, well, such and such came and picked me up because my car broke down, or such and such did this. And they really bond together. And so I think that is something that is helpful in the trades in general. I think, there's a lot of conceptions about, what it is to be in the trades, but I think that, is kind of changing with this new generation that's coming in as well.
Great. I want to say thank you to all of our wonderful panelists for giving us their Thursday evening to share some great information. I also want to thank you, the attendees, for coming and checking this out. And hopefully you learned something and have recommendations for folks who maybe are considering a career in the trades or even commercial driving. I also want to thank the city of Columbus, for funding this project. And then also a heads up, we have our fourth and final video, which will be on the labor movement and the civil rights movement, which will be shown next month, which is Black History Month. We're working on a date for you, but we'll be sure to email that out and post it on Facebook. And then if you want to check out our other videos that came before in this series, they're available on YouTube. Just go ahead and search for the Central Ohio Worker Center. And we are nothing without your support, so please consider becoming a member of the Central Ohio Worker Center to support low-wage and immigrant workers. And that would be $10 a year if you make $15 an hour or less, or $35 a year if you make more than $15 an hour. And I want to thank you for your time. Be safe and take care of yourselves.
All right. I see you, Samantha, Dorsey, Leland. Have a good evening, guys.